Hello and welcome to this very, very interesting episode with Kevin Dunlap here with us. He is actually an author who created his own universe, but also has a massive experience from real estate as well, and also understands AI deeply and understands some of the ways and strategies how to actually use and utilize AI, and also understands some of the challenges with AI as well. So, Kevin, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin Dunlap. My nonfiction author name is Kevin A. Dunlap, or my fiction author name is K.A. Dunlap. If you want to find me on Amazon or any other platforms, as far as being an author that Tony just mentioned.
Absolutely, yeah, that's great. So, Kevin, tell us a little bit about this new universe that you created.
Well, in November 2024, and probably a little bit earlier, I was playing around with AI, just messing around, whatever, and I ended up started creating some characters. And I've already written four nonfiction books. I had no intention of ever writing a gig. It's just the amount of time and effort that it goes into it. But in November 2024, so I started creating this demon character, this other character, and a whole slew of characters. And I was having like little fantasies, like little stories that they would have, just any kind of daydreaming that you want to talk about. And then in December 2024, I sat down and realized, like, why don't I actually write a novel based upon these characters? So that's when I actually started creating my own universe, and I started writing my first novel. In probably March or April of 2025, as I was still writing the first novel, I had this novel idea. I was sitting outside of a Jason's Deli. I was having, enjoying my lunch. And I said, how cool would it be, instead of writing a book, I did another book with the same surviving characters and writing series, which is like what everybody does, whoever writes a fictional story. And in my nonfiction books, all four of them were, even though they were nonfiction, they were very unique in their style. And when I was writing that first novel, I go, what if I actually had just only like one character goes do one goes to and does another story, another character goes to do another story. And as I was still writing that first novel, I was started coming up with the idea of two more novels of just some of the characters going off doing on their own tangents. And at that time, for several months, I thought, wow, what a novel. I didn't, nobody ever writes a book and then has a desire to just do minor characters go and do their own thing because everybody wants to write a book and then want to write another series of the same characters. And for several months, as I was writing the second and third novels, like, wow, this is so unique. Nobody ever does this. And then I ended up watching a Marvel movie, one of the superhero movies, and I go, well, Marvel already does this. You got your ensemble Avengers movie, then you got your Spider-Man movies, then you got the Iron Man movie, you got the Captain America movies. They all go off and do their own tangents. And what I thought was a novel idea actually became like, well, this is already a proven theory. This already works. The Marvel universe already does this. And that's when I decided I was going to create my own universe, my own, not series, but my own universe. All my characters come in from all different kinds of angles. And as far as the readership goes, a reader does not have to read the first movie or the first novel to understand the rest of them. They can come in at multiple different entry points. And to me, that is where I started creating my entire universe. As of right now, at the time of this recording, I actually have 12 books that has been created since December or since December of 2024. And I already have plans of writing at least six more. They're already on their first or second drafts as well. So, um, what I'm saying for you guys out there is how can you be different? How can you actually do something and just be different so that you can and you do stand out?
Yeah, absolutely. And how did you actually, what inspired you to start doing this, to start writing this?
What inspired me actually, and I talk about this on some actually 30 minute, 60-minute talks, is whenever I'm doing my fictional universe, is who are the characters first, and then you create the story instead of creating the story and then making the characters fit into the story. And to me that was one of the most important things was being a character driven as well as world building first before the story ever even takes place. Because when you create a story based upon a story and then you introduce random characters, the characters that don't get developed very strongly, because you're trying to fit them into this. You're trying to fit them into your story. But when you come up with the characters first, then the story just wraps around them.
Wow, excellent advice. For anyone sort of planning to build their own universe. And yeah, so also we touch base a little bit about AI when we were talking in the green room just before we started recording. And at the moment, there is like several camps, as you could say, like some people are really against AI. Some people are sort of just using it and saying, "Hey, this is cool stuff. I can sort of do so many things with it." What's your opinion on that?
My opinion is AI is here, regardless. I don't care what year it is that you're listening to this, or even what month. AI is here, and if you don't accept current technology into your system, into your business, into how you write, how you do anything, then you're going to get left behind. And a story I always like to come up with was, what if you, in a few years ago, let's say you owned a bicycle shop. You love your bicycle. You love to see the joy on people's faces when they buy that bicycle. And this new fad comes along. It's called the internet. And you think, nobody's going to buy a bicycle all over the internet. They'll have to come to the store. They want to interact. They want to get their helmets and their, whatever,
They don't want to use their
protectors or whatever
card.
on.
They don't want to use their card online. This was a big one. Yeah.
Yes. And the thing is, if you did not accept, like saying in this story, in this example, if you did not accept the internet to be able to sell your wares, your store is probably going to go out of business. The thing is, AI is the exact same thing. It's the new technology that's here. And if you want to avoid using it, you're going to get left behind. The thing is, how do you incorporate AI into your business so you can become more effective? That is what I'm trying to preach. So I don't care if you're a writer, if you're a business owner, or you're a business coach, or whatever it is. You use the current technology that's out there to help promote your business.
Exactly. And that's a really, really important point and really important subject because I had, even on this show, I had loads of authors who came here and they wrote some amazing books. But when it comes to promotions, obviously, even a lot of business owners, they're fantastic in what they do, coaches, consultants, all these other businesses, but they are not really fantastic in marketing. Yeah. So how can AI help us in that?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I'm learning right now is how to use AI, which would be how to use AI in your marketing practices. There's stuff out there right now where you can clone your voice. I'm sure you probably heard of this and whatever. It's called, you go through a company called, say, 11 Labs. And then you can also, there's other things out there. I think Google's doing this now. There's another company called HeyGen. There's another one called Runway. There's a whole bunch of companies out there which can get a still image and then animate that image. Now that animation of that image can also be a voice or a recording of that cloned voice where that image is actually speaking like yourself. And using that kind of technology, and you can change your backgrounds. You could be in outer space. You could be walking on the moon. You can be wherever. He's like, how do I embrace this new technology into my own self promotion, whatever it is that I'm doing? Like I have a fictional universe. It has characters from other planets. It even has one character from hell. My main character is a demon. And like, how do I create those kinds of videos where people would be attracted to want to come to me? Now, those of you that are highly against that kind of stuff, my next question to you is like, do you ever watch a movie that has computer graphics, has CG, has wireworks for movies, has green screens, and what? This kind of technology has been around for decades, but the thing is now at the hands of the actual individual, and how are you going to use it?
Exactly. Very good. And if people want to actually get in touch with you, Kevin, learn more about you or connect to you, how they can do that?
The best way to do that is just go to thecau.net. That way you can see all the stuff on there. And you can also contact me at on that site. If you go to thecau.net/join, you'll get my 8 short stories that I'm still in the process of creating for free. You would get one chapter every week. There's two. The stories are only 2 chapters per book. So over the course of 16 weeks, you'll get 8 stories, and you can contact me through that page as well.
Okay, great. And yeah, for anyone watching us, you can check out the links that Kevin just mentioned in the description of this episode. And on top of that, if you have any questions for Kevin or me, you can ask them in the comments. And Kevin, thank you so much for being a guest today. It was lovely to have you here on the show. Hopefully, we can, you can join us again in the future as well once those books are out and stuff, so we can talk about that and other subjects. All the best and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.